Happy New Year, guys. Happy new video. This year I'm going to try to do more videos, more steady videos. Sorry, I've just been really busy working throughout, this whole thing that's been going on. And I've been trying to catch up on a lot of shows. So I've been watching Disney Plus lately, and I just realized that there is a Dr. Fauci documentary on Disney Plus. Brought to you by Nat Geo. And I really appreciate this man for taking the time during, this whole thing. Right now, doctors and nurses, our frontline heroes, have been, doing their best to not get fired because they're in short supply of doctors and nurses and healthcare workers. So they've been trying their best not to get fired. And this guy, the head of, the virus task force, has taken the time out of his busy schedule to make a documentary for us, rated PG-13, family friendly. So I really just want to make an appreciation video for the guy who, has helped us flatten the curve. And I really want to say thank you, Dr. Fauci, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to take, I don't know, maybe a month, half a year, whatever it was, to get in touch with Disney, or they got in touch with you and said, lights, camera, action, let's make a documentary about you. Very smart move, Dr. Fauci, to do this during a pandemic where public interest about you is kind of divided. You guys sure this will be a good idea? Trust me, we're Disney. We would not make a bad move, okay? You're in good hands, Dr. Fauci. People are going to love this. Anyways, it's about 3 minutes long, and I haven't seen it yet. So based on this trailer, let's see what direction this goes in. And yeah, I have high hopes for this. Okay, before we start, the only clip that I saw, it was on. Actually, I didn't even find this on Disney Plus. It was a YouTube ad. Was the little line where it says "God help us all." So I hope I'm pretty sure that's in this trailer. I love that line. I don't know. That line just really hits home during all this, you know what I mean? And I'm glad he's the one who said it. I think that's the line. But yeah, we're off to a good start, This documentary is gonna bolster public opinion about you for sure.
God help us.
God help us. Those are the words of a man who can't sleep well at night, if you know what I mean.
When I think about my dad growing up, I certainly think about that seriousness and wanting to do the right thing. At the same time, very few people get to see. He's funny, weird, and really playful.
You can't.
When I think about my dad growing up, I certainly think of, my dad at work versus my dad at home. The guy people don't normally see because I'm his child, so he's probably, giving me the attention a father should. And, versus his serious work life. I see that, and I pity most people that don't get to see that.
Can't take everything seriously because then you'll start thinking that you're something that you're not.
You can't take everything so seriously because then you start to turn into something you're not. Wise words, man, wise words, because, there's nothing serious about anything that's going on or what's serious about you being in charge of. And I'm glad he said it, man. What a humble person. What a humble man. You cannot take yourself too seriously. The guy who's probably been in, 50, 60, 100, 1,000 interviews since this all started. From what I gather, he's had to face this backlash and criticism during the AIDS epidemic of the 80s. And apparently people didn't like the way he handled things. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm not saying he's a bad doctor or anything. Like I said, I have nothing but love for the guy. I just wonder why the guy who everyone hated during the AIDS epidemic is the face of, a new pandemic. I don't know why you wouldn't put somebody else, maybe with a more lovable face, but that's just me. If he's good enough for Disney, he's good enough for us.
I loved clinical medicine. The idea of discovery and having an impact on people. That's what really captured me.
That I will not disagree with. Modern medicines, they've really done wonders for the human race, and I do agree with that.
I grew up in a somewhat tough neighborhood in Brooklyn. The culture is that you didn't get intimidated by a lot of things. When someone...
Hold on. I grew up in a tough neighborhood, Brooklyn. Look at the coat he's wearing, even as a kid. I've never, ever seen a kid wear that. Even my parents didn't have jackets like this. I'm sure that jacket and that vase he's standing beside, probably worth a lot. But he grew up in Brooklyn. Tough kid.
In Brooklyn, the culture is that you didn't get intimidated by a lot of things. When someone attacks, I don't immediately fight back. It's nothing personal, it's strictly business.
And that's the line of the last 2 years. So, all I'm saying is, when something gets revealed and somebody's got to take the stand, they're going to go in front of the U.S. Supreme Court, and their answer will be, there's nothing personal, strictly business.
In 1981, HIV/AIDS was evolving rapidly and frighteningly.
Whoa.
HIV/AIDS was...
Damn, they had the toilet paper shortage in the 80s too, man. Whew. Glad to know we weren't the only ones that suffered through that.
Rapidly and frighteningly. There was anger at the response.
We accused Tony of causing those deaths.
Finally, I put myself into their shoes. That's when I started to really reach out.
Finally, I put myself in their shoes, which means I was apathetic towards their cause and their pain and suffering. Probably. I don't know.
It was pretty much the first and only time I think anybody in government came to us.
That changed everything.
When you got sick, you were gone fast.
It was so frustrating when you're used to.
That's the lab. The AIDS research lab. Like, that looks like an art department in elementary school. Gowns must be worn. Gloves must be used. Wash hands.
Things. And you
Hold on.
Fast.
It was so frustrating when you're used to.
I can't even see his hand. Is he using gloves? Okay.
Not really fixing anything.
It's affecting you now.
Yeah.
Why?
Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
It's affecting you now. Yeah. Why? Because I can't sleep at night.
When COVID hit, he became...
This is like Hollywood level editing and, sound and lighting and everything. So I don't know how long this took, and I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Post-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah.
Let's go back a little
Like
more.
Fixing anything.
It's affecting you now.
So the guy who just asked that question, this didn't look like a Skype call. He sounds like he's less than 6 feet away from him. You know what I mean? And he's not wearing a mask. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Why?
Post-traumatic stress syndrome.
When COVID hit, he became this target.
My dad said, we're gonna get through this whole thing.
When COVID hit, he became this target, almost as if his face was plastered everywhere, and he's the leading doctor during this pandemic. But he became a target.
And he's held that.
We're seeing upticks again, and nobody's hearing from you.
I don't understand the hate that people have.
These people are really, really getting bad.
These people are really getting bad. I don't know. Could it be because their lives were affected? They can't see loved ones. They can't work. They probably lost their homes, their businesses. I don't know. These people are getting bad.
You know, they're harassing my daughters constantly, which bothers me more than anything else.
That I will agree. I'll agree, man. I mean, this poor man who's, you know, given his life up for us. But I mean, I do agree with that. You know, leave the kids alone. Leave the family alone.
We heard about what he went through in the HIV/AIDS pandemic, like seeing signs Fauci's a murderer. And I remember asking him, like, is this actually what it was like? His response is, you can't even compare the two. This is so beyond the beyond.
I love that he's taking a walk during this whole thing. You know, stay inside, save lives, flatten the curb.
He says, here are the facts.
Here he is, not scared. Oh, and a guest appearance.
Forward.
A guest appearance from the war hero, George Bush.
The size of the challenge he faces each time.
If you're a public servant, you don't do it because you want to make money. You don't do it for the glory. You do it because you care.
When you're involved in a race,
Do it for the glory. You do it because you care.
I think that shot probably took at least like 3 or 4 takes. There's not enough emotion in your voice. Can you give us a little more?
Do it because you want to make money. You don't do it for the glory. You do it because you care.
Bingo, that's what we're looking for.
In a race to stop a horrible disease, you always feel you're not doing things quickly enough.
Fauci, in select theaters near you, which you're not allowed to go to. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this, because you know what? Like I said, this is an appreciation video for the guy who, you know, didn't get fired. The guy who, you know, right now in his field are needed more than ever. And a bunch of them are getting fired for different, you know, a mix of opinions. It's not like we live in a democracy or anything, but I'm glad. You know, he took the time out of his day. This looked like it. They filmed it over a span, you know what I mean? So I'm glad he took a little bit of time out of every day to film this for us. So let me know what you think about this great man, this hero, friend of George Bush. And you know, now he's a Disney star. Maybe he'll have his own YouTube channel, become the new Jake Paul or something. So just let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to like if you did like this. If you didn't like it, don't forget to like anyways. I will see you guys soon for hopefully Fauci too. For, you know, whenever the next pandemic or epidemic hits. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.